Out of the 50 plus movies you've directed and produced, which was the hardest to find financing for?
Well, I would definitely have to say the first one.
If anyone says no to you and you're discouraged for 1 second, you're dead.
I think it's helpful to invest your own money into whatever projects that you're doing, you know. That's something that I've always done and that I believe in, and I would never be a part of a project that I wouldn't be willing to invest in as well.
I bet all the money I have most of the time. If the film doesn't do, I start from scratch again.
Like, I know these filmmakers out of New York, and they make a film every couple of years, and they made one on 16. They raised a lot of money, and they made one on Super 16 a few years ago. They made the next one for like 40 grand. They wanted to make another one. They didn't have access to money.
And that's generally teaming up with either a production company or a network. You know, it's the traditional way you go and you pitch a network, HBO, what have you, and they're going to go into business with you. That's ideally the way you do things.
John, should independent filmmakers finance their film with credit cards?
No. We went out and we actually raised quite a bit of sponsorship money, I'd say. I want to say around 50 grand, and then there was, again, private investment put into that film, probably equal amount in private investment. So we actually had a nice chunk of money that was put into that film. As we got closer to release, there was another little bit of investment that came in to finish it up.
Because of different reasons, they weren't able to finance it at the end. So, you know, sometimes production companies will have a slate of 3 films that year, and one will go way over budget and another one will get pushed, and you know, there's always different reasons why financing can fall through.
When we created the business plan, we needed to add projects that were successful to compare them to ours. And there weren't any projects, films that had a predominantly Latino cast that were successful. There just aren't.
It was just a long process of really getting a lot of no's. At one point, I think I calculated it was like, it started, once it got like over like 150 no's or so, I stopped counting. Like, I kept a running chart, and when it was like hit that many of people, like financiers or producers or companies, production companies that had passed on it, then I just like stopped keeping a number tally because it got a little depressing.
I mean, my last film took 4 years to be able to make, and it's not an uncommon story among filmmakers.
Anytime anybody gives you money to make a movie, I mean, you should just thank your lucky stars, because it's the greatest job in the world, and it's such a commitment of faith, you know, in a filmmaker to be like, here you go, here's a bunch of money, make it into a piece of art, you know, and it's like, okay.